As I said, I think if you hit the jackpot, you should have to give it all away to chat, as it would be unfair just to add to bankroll. It would, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's true. Nothing selfish, I just want to be fair. Just want to be fair, guys. Just... The other thing I wanted to do was drop the... what's the word I'm looking for? So we're going to take lots of notes. So we did see a min raise with ace 2, which is an interesting one. I'm going to limp ace queen. Historically, it's always done better for me limping, especially against Regs, who I assume has a nicer strategy. ISO jams. Okay, good luck us. Please don't have ace king. Sevens. We'll take a non-heart. We'll take a non-heart. Good. So we'll take a couple of notes. So we faced what? An ISO jam. They're not, so there's none of those are bad. Let's say not quite like, but 2.5 to win. We just need 33% here. We probably have 33%. We don't have 33% at king 6, but we hit 10, so it's okay. So none of those are terrible plays. Like it's fine to shove sevens. It's fine to shove to min raise ace 2, but it is, let's say, outside of the realms of equilibrium, and therefore I would imagine DGG probably, given the place seems to be playing lots of tables. Will, for example, we will 3-bet a bit more. We might limp. It'll be interesting to see a non-all-in ISO strategy at this point. Just going to go. It's a bit of a dodgy limp. It's a bit of a dodgy limp bet. I don't know enough about Tanaka Master, so I'm feeling confident about this one. I'm feeling confident. I'm going to go for a small ISO. All right, I'll take the fold. Because after the start you've had, I've just bet 12.5k channel points on less than 100. Okay. Love the little, thank you for loving the little Wobbsy picture. No, I don't know if, we're going to limp this. I don't know if Tanaka is super aggressive, and honestly this is a hand you probably could just open jam if they're not ISO bluffing, because what's the point in limping this and letting them realise? We'll just bet, fold out equity, maybe get called by worse. Check now, check's fine. I mean, lots of stuff's missed, right? 8-9, 8-10. They check, we'll check. Let's win against Queen 8. 9-8, okay. Okay. Would have been fairly traditional to bluff that at some point. I'm actually going to fold Queen 8. I know this. Everyone's going to be like, what on earth are you doing? Yes, we're going to fold this because of the fact that Tanaka, for example, probably could have ISO jam 9-8, could have bluffed that river, didn't choose to do either of those, and so probably is a little bit more on the passive side. I'm not saying, again, this is not a criticism, we're just talking player styles here, and therefore folding that Queen 8 I think is going to be better, because I assume it's not going to be tons and tons of marginal shoves at this point. It doesn't seem like Tanaka's super tilt happy. Seems like he's a fairly calm master. We bet twice, looking at value from the 7x. He'll probably donk shove his 7x now and we have to fold, which is sad. And he does. Hyper Viper says, when is half time? Be an hour and a half or so. So I think we had the best out and they're fairly comfortable. Could just going to ISO jam his queen again. Could go for 1/3 actually, might have been slightly better. But yeah. Could min raise this as well, given that we're not facing many ISOs again. Bit debatable, but don't want to, yeah, I mean, it's fine. We'll go for a bit. Maybe, I suppose we could size up sometimes, but I'm okay with this sizing. Weatherton, Zayan, hello, Weatherton. Always a pleasure. Hope you're doing well. Lazy Castle, hello. Can you swap big blind to dollars? Lazy Castle, every time we swap big blind to dollars, I get about 100 chat being like, can you switch to big blinds? So we'll leave it in big blinds for the moment. But if there's a lot of demand, if everybody would like to stick to, I'm going to actually try a min raise it, to stick to chips, I'm happy. Right, that was maybe not so good, I'm not sure. Thank you for following Ming through a 50. Again, we're taking some pretty conservative folds at this point, which is typically how I always approach if guys are not showing they're very splashy. I'll go for a bet here. Again, just fold out overs, and we're okay with that. We have a little gut shot, some equity. Can bet and barrel against some diamonds as well. Try and limp with 9-3. Again, this is where we expand our VPIP a little bit because of perhaps because of a slightly low ISO. Go for a bet here as well. Check raise would be really awkward. I think I'll probably fold if you check raise, honestly. Or they check raise. Thank you very much to Ming350 for good luck, good luck. All right, we'll try a little 1/3 with 8s. There are some awkward flops, but who knows? Who knows? I'm going to jam there 7. Best trick. Tom, I have a question for you. Please go ahead as we don't hit a queen or a 10. Please. Oh. I wanted to win that one. Get a win on the boards. Let's... to be honest, I would ISO, but actually I feel like we don't need to ISO. And I don't think there's like a super necessary need. Could go for a pro bit. I think there'll be a lot of combos that will be calling. It's hard to... We could go... I mean, there's just not a jack X in this range. So we'll just go 3/4. Get the calls now from queen 9, whatever, 10-7, etc, etc, and we just overbet the river and just fold an 8 there, X there if we can. It's going to be incredibly profitable. We'll limp the 10-2. We'll fold the 10-2. Sword is here. Hello, Sword. Hope you're doing well, mate. All right, we'll try. We did get a snap fold last time we ISO'd, so we'll try another ISO. We'll go 3 big blinds. We get another fold, okay. We'll limp this 8. It would be close if they jam here. So these are hands I never ever fold, obviously, if I'm playing normally. But like in terms of chip EV maximization, they've not been ISOing a lot, and ace 8 is very quickly deteriorating. I'm going to make an incredibly far from very exploitative fold, and I am okay with that. I don't think. I mean, of course, we might see ace 4 there, but I think we also see ace jack there. And ace 8 has. If you look at a little tip for everybody, take your ace 8 off. Look at the EV versus ace 4. It'll be something like, I don't know, 58%. Look at the EV versus ace jack, and ace jack has a lot more. So it's really handy on to be careful about. Now, they bet the flop after not betting very much, and then we could try a little donk here. Gives our options open. I think I'm okay checking. Check, check. I'm ranging them pretty strong here. We haven't seen much aggression. So like, I think we call again. I guess 9/8's part of the range as well. Maybe some 2-pair. So I don't think we can turn a hand into a bluff. I think we just check and lose. I think they have a lot of 8x here, I guess. Maybe a 9-7. Yeah, it feels like 8x. 9-8 makes sense. 7-8 makes sense. 6-8 maybe. I'll try limp the 7-4. BB's so much better. BB's better. I like BB because I don't like doing the maths. Yeah, I think most people are in that situation. We'll go check here. Don't want to bet and have to fold a raise or anything. They double check here. I'm just going to try a little bet. I think we can make better hands fold a lot. So against a limp or jam. Hope we haven't been trapped. We'll limp the 5-7. Okay, pick up a flush draw as well. It's kind of awkward because like we are sort of betting for value, but it's also ace high. I don't really know. I don't even mind checking this back, to be honest. Just in terms of like, let's have more information about how to proceed. Now we have the best hand, we just sort of bet. Just bet for value, basically. We'll bet 1.4. Yeah. Best Rick says also my volume at some was bad from September the 1st, as we check here. I was thinking play more, but it's still the same shit. Where do you think a problem? Do you get lazy or what? So I would say no. We don't. This is going to be a pretty. Let's say. I'll get back to you, Best Rick. By the way, let me bet 1.3 first. Now there's King Jack, King 9, King X of diamonds. Some of those will bet flop. There's 8x and 10x we want to target. There's also Jack X in this range. We just want to bet river. So interesting sizing. I'm going to go 3.5 and hope that an 8x folds and a 10x folds. If he goes with 10-4 here, won't be great. 9-8, that won't be great. That won't be great. Oh, we'll try a limp with Queen 4. We'll fold the Queen 4. Could we have done something different there? I don't know. We could have maybe given up river, but I think in those spots, like, we're just up against the pre-cap range, and it just doesn't make sense not to give up, right? So, like, we tried to target Adex, and I think we read the situation quite well. I think in general, you probably expect folds in that spot. It doesn't mean we always get them, so we're okay about that. Could we have gone bigger? The problem with going bigger is, like, there still is king X in their range, right? So we don't want to go, like, pot over bet or something, because yes, we might fold 8x or 10x more likely, but if they have kings, they never fold. And so I don't think it makes sense to go big there. We'll call the a6 if they jam. Best Rick, let's get back to you. So what I would say is, what are your like emotions when it comes to, oh, I need to get grinding? What is, firstly, what is your, let's say, initial, let's we try and hit a queen or a 7? Jack. Ooh. Okay, I was prepared mentally to move to the 5s and say GG. But you know what? We managed it. We'll shove the queen jack here. So Jet 5 is always obviously a call. I've been overfolding like an absolute madman so far this game. I feel like I can't keep doing it. And this is such a plus EV call. Not that surprised to see somewhat of a high up part of their range, right? Makes me, at least from a kind of small sample Bayesian inference point of view, we feel a little bit relieved about all our earlier folds. The fact they didn't turn up with 7-4 off there, right? But yeah. The VPIP's definitely not high, by the way. Like, we definitely get lots of overfolds, I think. Where was I? Bishop, yeah, I would say, firstly, the first thing I would ask is, what's your motivation for grinding? And try and think of that. Why do you want to play poker? What was your goal? What was the reason you wanted to play more poker? Try and really cement yourself with that. So, thank you very much, Piscally, for the follow. I hope you're doing well. So, you know, was the goal like, I want to move up stakes, or I want to make more money, or whatever? Like, try and think about what was the exact reason. Why did you want to grind more when you were coming up with that plan? And see if that motivation is still valid and still resonates well with you. Because it might be that it just doesn't, right? We'll go for a river delay here, I think. I don't think we've ever turned delay. We've seen too many jack 10x in that range. And yeah, just check fold this. Working with scraps a little bit. I'm going to try a limp with 4-3 off. And I think I'll try a delay. It's been very effective, the delay so far. Air clubs comes, it's going to be less effective here, although we could bet and just bluff it off. I mean, I assume they didn't have much to pair here. So we'll go for a little block bet, and we don't expect many folds, but we will be just shoving the river in slightly ambitious way. Okay, good. Obviously calling a 7. Somehow there's... I like all our fold. I mean, it's you know, we folded ace-8, and the fact that we see ace-queen here makes me like our fold. Okay. It's not started well, ladies and gentlemen. We've just gone on this will be our 4th buy-in. 10 buy-in bankroll. We may be dropping 4 buy-ins in a row. I liked how we played there, honestly. I feel like quite happy with a lot of the decisions. DGGF. Red friend. Now we know they ISO jammed 7s. This is not a good board to see, but on, so we'll start with check. So, best rate, think about whether that's still the case for you, what your initial motivations are, how in touch with that. And then I would also say, like, if that still seems to be the case, if your motivation is still very much legitimate, think about, for example, things like, what are some off the thing tables that, you know, how much of a priority is poker, how much of your, what's the thing about how much of your grinding habit was like, for example, some people are like, they go from playing like 20 hours a month, 20 hours a month, 20 hours a month, and they're like, I want to play 120 hours next month. And you've got a very good built-in habitual playing style of 20 hours per month, and now you want something 6x it to 120 hours a month. You can't really do that. Trying to make the improvements by sort of, I would typically suggest like 20% a month. It does mean that it takes a bit of time, but like, you can't just overnight quadruple the hours spent or even double it, right? So if you play 100 hours a month and you want to suddenly play 200 hours next month, That's not possible. It's just too difficult. Definitely probing here. I think we have a multitude more 7x than our opponent's range. Typically, going to c-bet some of them. We have loads of them pre-flop. We'll go for this sort of small sizing. I don't mind, actually, weirdly enough, some calls from certain hands. Gives us room, flexibility to bluff some rivers as well. We're called. We definitely bluff this river. Just target ace-10, for example. We obviously don't need to go that big. I don't plan on making a 7-fold, of course. I hope a 9 folds. There's a lot of 9x, by the way, in that range. Jack 9, Queen 9, King 9. I think some of them might fold. I think. If I was a reg, I'd fold a 9 here. There's a flush, there's a straight. Oh, they got a straight. Okay, so they have a straight. Fair enough. So I didn't think there was too much 7x in terms of the check range. Fair play to DGF. We'll take another note. It's quite traditional, I think, to go ahead and c-bet those from lots of eggs, so it's a nice note to have. Let me catch up with chat because I realise I've been... this guy thinks he's a pro, he can't even beat the $10 games. So far that is confirmed, yes. I anticipate, yeah. Sorry to everyone who bet on more than, by the way, 10,000. That was terrible decision making. We're going to call one here with a pair and a gut shot. I don't think it makes sense to fold, but not thrilled at all. That's a good turn. Is it? I hope it's a good turn. Going to go for a fairly chunky bet. When they go 1.5 and check here, I think it's a lot of 8x. Could be an overpair. Could be at, whatever, 6, 7, 6, 9 maybe. But I don't think we get too many 1 street folds. So I don't think an 8 folds here. So I think we use this sizing. Try not to see a heart. Oof. They win with their... I'm going to go for Queen 8. 7, 8. Good. We won. So... like that we use the sizing on the turn at least. Glad says that was a really welcome to the low stakes call by Tanaka with 9-8 off. Yes, indeed. That will happen sometimes. In which case we just find the value, right? We just have to try and find the value. I mean, that's at least the parts, but yeah. Limp Stabber 1BB. Now we know he went 1.5 with the top pair, so the fact that he goes 1BB here, to me, ranges him away from ace-x. Not actually great for us, because we'd like him to have value now. But I guess he has Queen X sometimes, and other times just is bluffing. So, against the Queen X or bluff range, we don't want to go too big here. So last time I went really big with trips. This time I'm actually going to go for a min bet. With the idea that maybe he gets frustrated and just bluff raises us or something. Calls. So I think there's some Queen X in the range. I think we just jam here and assume that some flush draws he can represent. It's kind of fairly easy to actually make a call with Queen X here, I think. Thinking that flush draws missed, straight draws missed. He goes for a quick fold, which could be a King X or Jack X, but yeah. Axel says. Luckily, there's also 25-cent stakes, so don't forget that, guys. He has the ability, if he needs to, the bankrolls $1.25. Yes, he can move down there. Thank you, Axel, for reminding me of that. DGF, I think, is a little bit, feels to me already, is in a little bit maybe like check call-y mode against me, so I would definitely like to hit some value. This is a good card here. I'm actually going to go for a pot here. I think he's going to call all his Queen X to a pot. And I think he has lots of Queen X that call the turn. Now, if he shoves, it's so sad. But alright. We're going to fold. I assume he doesn't fold a Queen X. I assume. I might be wrong. Could go smaller there, but in terms of what we're trying to target, I think it just makes sense to go big. We'll go for a min raise here. Micro says 9 always calls there. You think anyone folds a 9x there? I think people fold a 9x there, Micro. Reg, I think. I mean, don't forget, DGF is not some random person. He's played in every single game we've been in so far, and I think, yeah. I certainly think some people will fold that, and that's the thing. Is like, you know, you are just bluff catching with 9x, and it is hard to find lots of bluffs there from a lot of people. So, okay, we have a double gutter. We'll start with a call. Go for a check. It's a very easy to over limp stab board, this. So we could have maybe check raise, although I don't really want to check raise this hand. Goes to half pot, and this really puts us in an awkward spot. Okay. Problem is that, like, yeah, we can't do too much. We'll just jam ace 5. Lax says, what would you say is the best way to learn pre and post flop for spins? Pre-flop, I think you're fine if you stick with solver based ranges for the moment while you build a sample. Going to ISO jam this. Obviously, DGF, I think it's some sort of reg, so we're going to play a little bit more, let's say, GTO-ish pre-flop. We'll go for a limp with the aces. So yeah, I think pre-flop you'd be fine sticking to fairly GTO-centric. What do you call them? And post-flop, I would typically recommend people do like lots of Flopzilla work. Solvers as well will give you a kind of good guiding point, but yeah. If this is recreational or random, I would definitely size up, but given they seem to know what they're doing, we'll stick with a kind of 1BB sizing. Okay, flopping a pair. Okay, we're going to start with a check. So last time they went for a bet and a barrel on a king jack 9. Half pot, half pot. So it'll be interesting to see if sizing changes if they barrel this turn. This turn, for example, will be really interesting if we see a bet, what size it will be, etc., etc. Quick check back. Now that to me does suggest a somewhat capped range, and so jamming would be an option here, as mad as that sounds. I'm not going to do it because I don't know if the GGF is the hero folding type, but let's say I felt like this was a player that was capable. We could go for a jam here. Check call is also an option, by the way. So like when they don't consider betting the turn, they are more air weighted, and so we did have the best hand there, for example. And they had 7-4 off, so very interesting. They didn't choose to bluff that river with a blocker as well, you know. I'm going to make a quick note of that. Alright, we call this 4. We're not thrilled, but again, DGF, some sort of reg. Queen 7. Can we hit? Yes, we can. Can we fade a queen? We might be about to win a game. It's exciting. It's exciting. So my notes, by the way, I think some people might find this quite interesting. My notes on DGF so far. Min raise ace 2 off, button 25x. ISO jab 7s. Blind v blind 25x, check back ace 7, 658 button versus big blind, and under bluffs rivers question mark. That is a suspicion we have. Going to bet here on this king high board with a spade and a club and straight blockers. Nice properties of a hand here. Mike says, Reg knows even better that you bluff there too because he's nearly nice 7x. Everyone bluffs a spot. I actually think his reg's cool there anymore. It might be the case. I don't know. I don't know if does DGF know I'm a reg? I don't know yet. But yeah. Just gonna go for a little block bet here. Like this sizing. You might be right, Marco. I mean, again, like I think it just. Let's say I think, I work with a lot of different guys, and I can say with confidence that not bluffing this river by those is disastrous run out. I can say with confidence that. For that to work, I'm fairly confident half the regs would fold in that spot. But yeah, Rixa, thank you very much for following, Rixa. It's another call. Again, DGF seems somewhat solid, so we're not going to worry too much about like trying to edge pass here. And we'll take our 53%. Slight favourite. Can we hold? I'm so relieved we got a win. Alright, so the bankroll goes up to 80 and then immediately goes back down to 70, okay? And the games have died.